All right, we're going to talk about something today that might just make you rethink a few things about yourself. We're diving into the idea of intelligence, but we're pretty much going to throw out the old rule book.
So, let me just ask you this. When you hear the word smart, what's the first image that pops in your head? Is it someone with perfect grades? A person with some genius-level IQ score? Well, what if I told you that whole idea of smart, it doesn't even begin to tell the whole story?
You see, psychology actually tells us that real intelligence is way more subtle. In fact, some of the most brilliant people out there might not fit that classic mold at all. And a lot of the time, they don't even see it in themselves. So, let's dig into some of those hidden signs, shall we?
Okay, let's kick things off with our first group of traits. I like to think of this as the inquisitive mind. This is all about how really intelligent people actually take in information and how they look at the world of knowledge.
So in this part, we're going to look at 4 big signs: being deeply curious, having the guts to say, I don't know, being genuinely open to new ideas, and that little habit of questioning just about everything.
First on the list, curiosity. And I'm not talking about just a fleeting interest in something. No, this is a deep, constant need to ask why and how. If you're always trying to figure out how stuff works or what really makes people tick, well, you're tapping into a fundamental piece of intelligence.
Now, this next one, it might seem a little backwards at first. We always think being smart means you have all the answers, right? But the truth is, the most intelligent people are usually the first ones to admit, you know what? I don't know. And why is that? Because they get it. They understand that genuine learning only kicks in the moment you accept what you don't know. And that flows perfectly into our next sign, being open. See, intelligence isn't about stubbornly being right all the time. It's about being flexible. It's having the ability to hear new evidence and actually say, that's a really good point. Maybe I need to rethink this. That kind of intellectual humility, man, that's a huge sign of a really sharp mind.
And the last one for this section is questioning everything. Smart people don't just act like sponges, soaking up information. Their minds are active filters. They're constantly analyzing, pulling things apart, and challenging ideas. It's the huge difference between just hearing a fact and actually understanding it.
So if that's how intelligent people take information in, what about how they, process it? That brings us to our second big theme, the rich inner world. This is all about what's going on inside your own head. We're going to dive into 3 traits here that people often get wrong: a tendency to overthink things, actually enjoying being by yourself, and having a mind that just loves to wander off and daydream. Come on, be honest with me. Has anyone ever told you you think too much? That you're just overanalyzing something that's supposed to be simple? Well, let's look at that in a totally different way. What we often call overthinking might actually be a sign that you've got this really powerful cognitive engine just humming away. It's not that your mind is stuck. It's that it's running all these simulations, it's exploring every possibility, and it's looking at a problem from all these different angles to find the absolute best way forward. It's deep analysis, pure and simple.
And what does a mind that's always buzzing like that usually need? A little peace and quiet. Enjoying being alone isn't about being antisocial. For a lot of highly intelligent people, it's a critical need. That's when they can actually process all those thoughts, connect the dots between ideas, and let their creativity run wild without all the noise from the outside world. And that time alone often leads right into our next sign, daydreaming. Yeah, daydreaming. For so long, we've been told it's a sign of laziness, right? But the research shows the exact opposite. Letting your mind wander is heavily linked to creativity and solving tough problems. It's in those quiet, unfocused moments that your brain makes some of its most amazing and unexpected connections.
Okay, let's bring our focus back to the outside world. Our final section is called The Perceptive Observer, and it's all about how intelligence pops up in the way you see and interact with everything and everyone around you.
And for this last part, we'll check out 3 final signs: having an eye for the little details, a really sharp sense of humor, and being highly self-aware.
Do you ever find yourself being the one who points out something that everyone else just completely missed? It could be a little detail in a movie or a weird inconsistency in a story someone's telling. That's not just a fluke. It could mean your brain is just naturally processing more information from your surroundings, that it's wired for a deeper level of observation.
Now this one might surprise you, but having a good sense of humor is a huge sign of intelligence. Why? Well, think about what it takes to get or make a really clever joke. It requires incredible mental speed. You have to understand context, see connections that aren't obvious, and appreciate a play on words, all in like a split second.
And finally, we come to what might be the most profound sign of all, self-awareness. The ability to kind of step outside of yourself and reflect on your own actions, your emotions, your thoughts. That is an incredibly sophisticated thing for a brain to do. This isn't just about being emotionally intelligent, it is a clear hallmark of a truly advanced mind.
So, after going through all of these signs, what does this new intelligence profile actually end up looking like? How can we see smart in a totally new light?
Well, on the left, you've got the traditional view, right? It's all about IQ scores, perfect grades, and just knowing all the answers. But then look at the other side. We've got this bigger, richer picture. It's an intelligence that values curiosity more than certainty, awareness more than just raw knowledge, and the courage to ask questions instead of just having answers.
And that really sums it all up, doesn't it? If you heard yourself described in some of these signs, there's a really good chance you're a whole lot smarter than you've been giving yourself credit for. Because true intelligence isn't just about what you know. It's all about how you think.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Thinking about this bigger, broader definition, what makes you smart? Thanks for joining me for this one.